Welcome to the Passionate Pioneer podcast. Hi, I'm Beth, and I'm passionate about supporting women who are feeling disillusioned and disappointed with their career and showing them what is possible when you follow your passion. Having your voice heard, finding your tribe of like minds, and being able to get support is so important when you don't know where to turn or who to talk to. I transformed my life from the corporate world to the coaching world, and I now empower women to follow my example and claim the freedom of choice to follow their heart, soul, and passion. So let's get started. Today, I am joined by Sally Gimon. Sally was an insurance agent for 20 years before becoming a real estate investor in 2018 when her mum got sick. She realised that owning property and being her own boss was the way to go in making real money. In 2020, she bought a bank-owned property for a steal of a deal, and at the end of COVID, it was worth at least double. However, she knew that capital gain taxes were approximately 23% for the average Joe, but they were much lower for the elite. Why was that? Sally set out on a mission to find a better solution and dive into the world of taxes to help the average person keep their information private and defer their capital gains. She shares weekly updates in her private real estate group and also on Win-Win Women TV, where she talks about how to save on your taxes. Welcome, Sally.
Thank you, Beth, for having me. I need you to introduce me all the time. That was beautiful.
Good. Yeah, I like to do that. I like to do a little introduction so that the listeners have a little backstory about who you are before we dive into your story.
Exactly. If you don't mind, I'll just tell you a bit about what happened. My parents were living 20 miles west of Phoenix, Arizona. They drove cross country to Charlotte for my oldest nephew's wedding. Along the way, unfortunately, my mom got septic of the blood poisoning. She was on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. 9 months my parents stayed in Charlotte, so my dad could stay with her. I was going to their house 3 days a week, checking their mail. In December of 2028, a letter, 27 pages, folded in half, was her Medicare statement for the month of November. $172,000 to be in the hospital for 1 month. Thank God. I don't know. In Europe, you usually have healthcare taken care of.
We do. Over this side of the world, we do. And I know in America, if you don't have the health insurance, it's just
ugly,
nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts.
Correct. My dad was a retired officer. They had what's called TRICARE for life. Everything's paid for. But I'm standing in their kitchen going, I have an $8,000 deductible on my healthcare. I have student loans. I have credit card debt. My 3-week-old car, major road in Phoenix, I was driving through on a green light, an Indian School Road. A guy ran a red light, T-boned me, no insurance. So I had 2 car payments. I was broke. So standing in my parents' kitchen, I called my friend Glenn, who was a real estate investor. I know him, know his family. He goes, hey, next week we're having a Christmas party. Rhonda and I are going to be late. One of our kids has a Christmas pageant. Just go up by yourself. Go to a party by myself? Are you insane? I don't know about you, Beth, but boy, did I have to gear myself up.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not very good at going to, especially big crowds on my own. It always feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? But
uncomfortable, and you're like, who am I going to talk to? Yes, but yeah. I did it. I knew they were coming. I did it. Best decision of my life. I started meeting other investors. I started investing. At the time, I was working with, it's called Medicare. People who turn 65 get on the government program in the United States. I was working as a broker, so I can sell different products. And I started real estate investing, doing really, really well. Fast forward to November 28th of 2019. We were on a special call campaign for one company in Texas. I talked to a woman who's turning 65. She's got to get the policy started before the end of November, or she's going to have penalties. She calls me back. We had talked 3 weeks earlier, and she goes, oh, I have a new address. So typed in her address, and she moved 4 miles from Texas into New Mexico. So it's not the campaign we were on isn't available in New Mexico, but I had to sell her something else. I was licensed there. I got fired for that. I did my job. Next day, I'm wholesaling a bank-owned property in Ohio, and I'm going to make $16,000. And I don't have to. I hate to say it, I was putting alcohol into my water bottle. You don't go to work with alcohol in your bottle. So
I know that. Listen, I working in corporate, every night I came home and just needed a glass of wine. It was just,
completely.
They just go hand in hand, right? It's just toxic work life, toxic private life, right?
Yeah, perfect, exactly. And the next day, it was right after Thanksgiving. So on the Friday, I was wholesaling this house in Ohio. Never seen it, but I'm making good money on it. So I'm like, I'm out of here. I got fired. I can take unemployment for a few months. I'm okay. So fast forward, doing all sorts of real estate. July of 2020, the contract came up. So it's just the contract. I paid $20,000 for, and it's going to go to auction when COVID restrictions got lifted. It took 13 months because all the banks shut down, all the courthouses shut down, everything happened. So in my national group, I'm just in the Phoenix group, but in my national group, one of the instructors, Garrett Gunderson, wrote a book called What the Rockefellers Do. It's now called What Billionaires Do. I went through it, started calling people, started emailing people, sending letters. I found the private law firm in outside of Houston that has the patent on the Benson Financial Trust that is going to save for 1099 income workers, people who work for themselves, like affiliate marketers, MLM, or real estate agents. They're going to save at least 70% on their federal taxes every year. And depending where they are, they can get that up to over 94%. And then for investors, I don't care if they have to be based in the United States, unfortunately, but if you're a passive investor, real estate investor, crypto miner, stock market investor, Forex investor, they're going to save taxes too. And, the rich people, the Rockefellers, the US presidents, and other people, ultimate rich have this. Why aren't we taught about this?
Exactly. That's a very good question, isn't it? Why aren't we taught about this school? Because we're like mushrooms.
Exactly.
You know how mushrooms grow?
From one to the other to the other.
Well, mushrooms actually, they're fed bullshit and kept in the dark. That's how they grow, right? That's how they grow. That's exactly how I see most of us, is that's how they school us, they herd us into, dumbing us down and teaching us just the bare necessities, and not much else, because they don't teach you any real life skills or how to invest money, how to save money. You just learn about numbers and how to do, calculus and all the rest of it. But
have you ever used your calculus?
No, I've never used it. I've never used it. Right. Same as chemistry and all the elements. I don't know. I just know H2O is water and oxygen and carbon dioxide. That's all I need to know. I didn't know.
Exactly. The average person joining my national real estate group, I don't care where they are in the United States, average person, call them Joe. Average Joe is 56 years old. They're trying to save money for retirement. They're retiring in like 9 years, 10 years. And, a true story. One of my friends in my real estate group, retired preacher from New Hampshire, moved to Arizona to retire there. Back in 2021, fourth time he went to go door knock on the house, Super Bowl Sunday, he finds the grown daughter. Unfortunately, her dad passed away. The house is going to auction March 1st, 2021. The daughter's about to drive back to LA in an old jalopy car, 1996 Honda Accord.
Right.
He was able to help her get the dad's car, stop the auction, wholesale the house for $50,000. Kelly says, "Oh, Sally, I'm going to have more houses. I need to pay bills. I'm not going to worry about capital gains now," because it's February of 2021. Well, he didn't do another wholesale deal. In 2022, he had a bill $990 a month for 12 months to pay the IRS, so he wouldn't have any more taxes they add on fees and more taxes onto that. So a gentleman who's retired is doing Uber 6 nights a week to pay for his capital gains, and he's just like, I'm your poster child. Tell him everything I did wrong, because $50,000, just to give you an idea, $50,000 is $13,900 in capital gains.
Right.
He didn't have to worry about until that was February of 2021. He didn't have to pay them until April 15th of 2022. And he's just like, I don't have that money. He spent that money.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
he's a smart man. I'm not making fun of Kelly,
Yeah.
but he learned a lesson. I'm teaching other people. I just talked to earlier this week a gentleman in upstate New York near Colgate, New York. He's a affiliate marketer. He sells weight loss supplements online and other places. I wish I were him. He's making $40,000 a month with his downline and all the people he sells to, and we're going to save him 6 figures in taxes. And he's telling other people, his downline, who are making good money, how to save money, because he's just like, I didn't know this. The money goes through my hands like there's no tomorrow. And so many people don't know it.
We need someone like you in Italy, because I can tell you, everybody that works for themselves here has a business needs an accountant, because the taxes over here are very, very complicated. They make it that way. They make it very difficult. So you just do something as easy as possible, right? They make it very difficult.
Well, just to give you an idea, think of all Shakespeare's work. Romeo and Juliet, As You Like It, everything else. Line Shakespeare's work up like this. In the United States, the IRS tax code is 10 times the size of Shakespeare's work. So CPAs don't know this. Financial advisors don't know this.
But you can't know everything, right? You know what you know, and that's it. You can't know it all, right?
Exactly. Somebody who came to my Monday night seminar, that I do, his parents have 5 apartment buildings in the Bronx, New York. The parents are in their 70s. They want to either sell them or they're figuring this out. He went to his accountant. His accountant tells him this is completely fake. So he sends me an email back. And a book, I said, make sure your accountant reads this book. It's called Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. It's a very dry, expensive book on Amazon. It's about
sounds very dry.
I have a copy, and I'm like, I don't want to read this. Well, the accountant calls. The accountant asks the client who came on a Monday night 4 weeks ago, what's Sally's email address? I need to talk to her. He and I got on a Zoom, and he's like, I have so many clients I can help with. They're his clients. I have a joint venture agreement. We're helping them, either 1099 income or investors, helping them save. And he's just like, I have at least 100 clients to refer to. Do I get paid on all 100 clients? I'm like, if they get a trust, yes, you do. And he's just like, a second stream of income. I'll do that.
Right. So I suppose what you're doing now then, and what you've had to learn since working as an insurance agent before you got fired, you're just in that little niche, aren't you? As an insurance agent,
correct.
Just in a little niche. So I'm guessing that, how did you feel when you did your job? That's the problem, isn't it? It's the problem with the corporate companies and sticking to they've got their rules, their rule book. You've got to do everything by the rules. And sometimes that means not doing the best by the client.
It honestly is.
That's something that just rubs me the wrong way. It's just like, well, hang on a minute. We're supposed to be here in service, offering us this service. I'm doing the best for the client, but no, I didn't tick these boxes, so I'm out.
Exactly. You want to do the best you can. And now that I have my own company, my clients, most of my clients, there's some paperwork to transition from the trust. I don't know in Italy if you have what we have in the United States. It's called statutory law based on each state. Your LLC, an S corp or a C corp. Almost every single investor, I don't care what they're doing, gets an LLC. And I have people saying, "Oh, that protects me." It does not. Anybody, right. If your attorney sets up the LLC for you, I can write what's called a Freedom of Information Act and say who owns this LLC. I can sue that LLC. If I'm your renter, and the dog gets out and bites the mailman's not going after the renter. They're renting the house. They're going after the investor who owns the house.
Right.
I have crypto investors. I'm on TikTok, and one of my most popular videos is a dad who saw a video of mine. His son was going to go to college. This was in August. He was going to cash in, got into Bitcoin really, really early. He's going to cash in 5 Bitcoins, pay for his son to go to college. You know, the taxes on that were going to be astronomical. You know, this was September. He's going to have to pay them in April. And he contacted me, and I'm like, have your son get the student loan. You know, let's just get the first semester taken care of. You're going to take some time with crypto. You have to go to your wherever your wallet is. Like
wallet. I don't really know a lot about crypto, but I guess you do, right? So
correct. Correct. So you know, he had to change things over. He opens up a new bank account with a new. It's called EIN. I don't know what the initials EIN stand for, but you know, he had to open a new thing. He had to transfer his crypto over to this before he sold it. So you know, we started this in August. It did take him a few months, so it finished in October. He cashed in his he started the trust before he paid for it. He cashed in his crypto, paid for the trust, and then paid for his son's student loans for his first semester at college. Then he could pay for the rest of his son's education and not pay capital gains on his crypto.
Wow. I mean, so there are loopholes, aren't there? There are loopholes.
Yes.
You've just got to know them, right?
Correct.
So I'm guessing you've learned a lot then. I mean, I can see how passionate you are about what you do, because you really want people to, you know, to not get, for want of a better word, screwed over, right?
One of my clients, his wife is an artist. You know, she didn't know anything about the meta world. I introduced her to a friend of mine who's in the meta world, and you know, it's a young family. They have 2 kids in elementary school, 1 kid not old enough to go. She's taking her artwork, taking a picture, getting somebody to take a professional picture, putting it up in the meta world, and she's doing a series of 1 to 100 signed pictures. She's selling them for $1,000 a piece, and she's saving over 6 figures because of all of this. They paid off their house, they paid off their 2 cars, they set up college educations for their kids. You know, she retired her husband. Her husband was working in the insurance industry. He's in his 30s. He's no longer working. He's just wholesaling full time. And that they send me updates, and they love their life now. Right. Not that they didn't love their life before, but they're doing so much more with money they're saving.
The thing is about having some more money. You know, it's in the right hands. It gives you so much more freedom. It just frees up. You have more choices to enjoy life.
Exactly. And you know, she's brought me. She's in the meta world. I'm learning so much about the meta world. I don't know if you know anything about it, but I didn't know artwork went for so much in the meta world. But she's brought me more clients, and the clients help other clients. I'm in a mastermind. One of my clients heard me, you know, do a speech, and his father passed away. His dad left him a stock portfolio, 100 shares of the top 100 dividend companies. Fantastic stock portfolio.
Wow.
Every quarter, you know, 4 times a year, he gets paid $60,000 from his stock shares. So my friend Don, he's going on a fabulous vacation. You know, first time he went up to Whistler, Canada to go skiing.
Oh, I've been there. It's lovely. I've been to Whistler, Canada. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, I haven't been there yet. I'm not allowed to ski because I hurt my back. But he would send these fantastic pictures on Facebook. Yeah. Look at my vacation. Look what I'm doing. So just to give you an idea, with him at 28%, per quarter we're saving him $16,800. Times that by 4, he's saving per year $67,200. So we had to get his financial advisor. We had to get her name's Jewel. We had to get her onto the Zoom, and we had to have her change the stock certificates from Don's name into the trust name. And she's like, I'm doing all this work. You know, what do I get from this? So I told her about the affiliate thing. She sent me more clients. Her clients are sending her more clients because she's helping them save money. Yeah. And she's just like, this is a beautiful, you know, working together.
Symbiotic relationship, right? It's amazing.
Beautiful word. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I was just going to ask you actually, Sally, do you know many other, or have you met many more people like yourself that are doing this, that have seen this loophole and, you know, want to get in and help? Because how are the elites? They've got all this money. They're not hardly paying taxes. Why is that? Why is the poor man paying all the taxes and the rich man's paying hardly anything? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
Correct. There's several people I follow. One gentleman only talks about the capital gains. There's so much more of this trust, but much more dividend income, rental income. That he sells a trust for $120,000 for very well-heeled individuals. The trust I sell, either the business trust or the beneficial trust, one trust, either or, is $20,500. If you want both trusts, very few of my clients, I have both because I have online businesses, but if you want both trusts, it'd be $37,000. I make some commission on it, but it's not I make more money in my real estate deal than I do in the trust. But I want, as you said, regular Joes. Hey, this is how you can save money. You're going to pass it on to your family, generation after generation. The Rockefellers, their trust is 7 generations old. You won't pay inheritance tax. You won't pay, when someone died, 97% of the trusts in the United States are what's called a family trust. And the only thing they do is avoid going to probate, going through the court system when someone dies. You avoid that. You avoid inheritance. Really upset. One of his renters' dogs got out, bit the mailman. His attorney, Patrick, was wrong. He had 2 houses in each LLC. He had 50 LLCs. The attorney found 4 of the houses. The mailman, because of his attorney, got $400,000. And Patrick and I were at a national meeting, and I don't know if you ever seen a wet hen, but he was mad. So he started the trust, now has more property in Chicago than what he started with. I've never seen. We have these RVs, huge RVs that people drive. His RV is worth $250,000. Last summer, couldn't slow down. He hit the car in front of him. The car got pushed into the car in front of her. Thank God no one's injured. She jumps out. She sees this very expensive RV, and the woman's not injured. She goes, I'm going to sue you for everything you have. The trust owns the RV. The trust pays for the RV. But Patrick's license is in Patrick's name in Illinois. So she has his name. They fixed the 2 cars, that's what they had to do. She turns around to sue him for $500,000 because she sees his RV. Well, the old adage, own nothing, control everything. They can't sue the trust, so she only can sue Patrick. Patrick has no money. So the trust went away. And Patrick's like, besides me saving rental income, and saving me from liability, you just saved me $500,000 from a frivolous lawsuit. She was saying for pain and suffering.
Right. Yes.
I don't wish that woman ill will, but her car got fixed. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's quite amazing, isn't it? It would be nice to have someone like you over here. Because I don't, because there are a lot of expats living in Europe,
right.
and each place has, France and Italy and Spain, they all have their own taxes and laws. And they're all quite complicated, I think. I think in England, it's pretty easy. You can just do it online yourself.
Well,
or you can get, advice, obviously, from somebody who would be able to support you in how to get the best out of your money and how to pay less taxes and everything. But over here, it's just very complicated. Your invoices have got to be Italian invoices. You've got to use an accountant. There's no way to pay less tax. In fact, I think there are some companies here that pay their employees the salary and then they give them extra cash. I guess the cash that comes into the business, because they don't want their employees to pay the extra tax, and they don't want to pay the extra tax. So there, I think there are some loopholes here as well. But I don't know about it. When I started here, I'm on a very low tax bracket for the first 5 years I live here.
Congratulations. Exactly.
So that's my way through at the moment. I shall tackle the next problem when it goes up, when it happens. But I did know that Portugal was the same. I think for the first 5 years, residents only pay 5% or nothing at all.
Wow.
new residents. And Italy was the same as well.
Well,
So
look, I do have foreign nationals. A friend of mine lives in London. I was over visiting her, and I went to I went to a wine tasting. Had fun, but
nice.
somebody I met at the wine tasting. He's Saudi Arabian, living in London. His family has property everywhere. If you know Trump Towers in New York,
Yeah.
his dad bought 3 condos when it was being built, and they're about to sell one of them to a renter who's been living there for 13 years. And he goes, "Can you help us save?" And I'm like, "There's an extra form for foreign nationals. I can only help him with his real estate in the United States,
Right.
not in London, not in Saudi Arabia,
Right.
anything else." And his comments like, we bought this condo. We know how much we're going to sell it for. This is going to save us thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And he does have an accountant here in the United States doing that. And, it does come from England. This trust come way back. You'll know this history better than I do. I'm dyslexic, so I don't give dates. But when King Henry VIII started the Church of England, because he was chopping off his wives' heads.
Well, we know why it's like that. I had this story the other day actually with another friend was a client actually, and we were talking about this, and I said, well, you know how the Church of England got started? It was because King Henry VIII wanted to divorce one of his wives, and he couldn't do it with the Catholic Church, so they therefore started the Church of England. What a great story that is! What a great religion that is, right? Let's get religion because you want to divorce your wife, and then he ended up chopping the heads off 3 or 4 of them. Murder was also included, and that was okay too. So it's like really.
Well,
how proud are you now of being, Church of England? Really?
Exactly. Well, back, I know, I want to say it's 1533. I might have the dates wrong. I don't give dates. But when he started the Church of England, he went to go tax the lords and ladies, and they went further back to the Magna Carta, and they said, "No, King Henry, you can't do this." So the law firm I work for has a trust that is turning 350 years old in 2023 that came over from England or started here in the colonies before we became a country.
Right.
And, I don't know about the tax laws in England, but the IRS did not start in the United States until 1913 when we were getting ready to go into World War I. Right. So all the rich families, the Rockefellers, knew how to do this. So the Spendthrift Trust is in tax code 643B. So it's way up here. And most accountants are in the 300, 400 level because 97% of people are in the 300, 400 level, are filing a 1040 federal tax return. The trust has special conditions, and it files a 1041 tax return that only ultra rich can file. The regular people can't. And I moved to North Carolina in March of 2022. I did not file North Carolina taxes because I do everything inside my trust. And so people living in New York, Illinois, or California with high state taxes, they're saving even more money than people in Florida. They don't have state tax, so they don't have to worry about things.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. I have to tell you, I'm a little bit impressed, but I don't really know about taxes per se. Over here, I have an accountant, and I give him all the invoices, and he deals with everything. And I'm not really sure about how it works in America. Like I said, it's just complicated over here, and they make it so. And I guess that's the taxes in America work kind of the same. It kind of works in favor if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, completely. I mean,
right?
I researched this, and with the team, when you purchase the trust, you get an entire team. And right now it's June, so our taxes are due the 15th of April every year, or you can extend them. I haven't finished my 2022 taxes yet, but we have a CPA who will work with you, answer your questions. You have a retainer to talk to the CPA, get your questions answered, and then they will work with, let's say you've got property in the United States, but you're living in Italy. As long as your accountant speaks English, because Americans don't speak second languages.
Yeah. My accountant does, because Italian is difficult for me too. So yes,
Americans are famous for not speaking a second language.
No, he speaks English. Yeah,
but the CPA who knows how to file the taxes will
Right.
work with your personal CPA, and it's 100% your choice. Hey, stay with your CPA or go with the one we advise, but they will share the information. I mean, it's a team because people don't know this. I mean, the gentleman I was telling you about in the Bronx, his family has been in real estate since the 80s, and they're like, how come we've never heard of this? I'm like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
people don't talk. The people keep it
Well,
a secret.
remember
I
the
don't know why.
mushroom story?
Yes, yes,
That's why you don't know, because they don't want you to know.
exactly. I mean, in high school they don't teach us how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
They in college they give us credit cards and people getting credit card debt and then go bankrupt. I mean,
Yeah.
healthcare system. True story about my mom. This is a sad story. She stayed here in Pineville, North Carolina, until March of 2019. I flew out for Christmas, and on New Year's Eve, 2018, she was on the floor with 23 other patients on a ventilator. Four family members took their family member off the ventilator and took them home against doctor's orders. Because the next day, if you're on what's called an Advantage plan, you have a huge deductible, anywhere from $2,000 up to $20,000 that people couldn't afford to do.
Oh
The,
gosh.
the respiratory therapist is in my mom's rooms, just tears running down her face. And I'm explaining to her the problem. And I'm like, thank God my mom was getting the best care. I got 3 extra months. She got her memory back. She got home, three
Right.
months to have dinner with her, to talk to her. Those people didn't get that time with their parents because they didn't know these secrets. And that's not shameful.
It is. It is. No, it's shameful. You're right.
It's shameful that
It's
people are
shameful.
dying because
Yeah.
people don't have the right information. And,
Yeah.
and people who are doing affiliate marketing. I mean, one of my friends knows about the trust. She's doing affiliate marketing and she's just hit a plateau, and she's like, I need to start this trust now because I'm making enough money to afford it and start putting the money into the trust. She's a school teacher. She's not going back to teaching next September. She's quit school teaching because
Yeah.
she's making enough money being an affiliate marketer.
Wow. Yeah,
So
I know
there's
about this affiliate marketing, and there's a few of my business women that I know. They do affiliate marketing. It works very well, doesn't it?
It does. It does. For me, I have an affiliate marketing too, but the business brokers, I have two clients closing businesses at the end of the month. One gentleman selling two pizzerias. He's going to save, because when you sell a business, it doesn't matter. You're going to take out the price that you started the business for and then what you're selling. So that's the ultimate price. And then it doesn't matter if you have a loan against it, if you have tax liens or anything else, whatever the final price is, you're going to pay that to the federal government, US federal government, either
Yeah.
at 15% or at 20%. He's going to make over $3 million selling his two pizzerias in Long Island. He's going to save $460,000 at 15% or $600,000 at 20%. He's just like, I'm 68 years old. My wife's 67. What if we have a heart attack? This is money that they don't have to
Right.
pay. The business broker who brought me this, when I get paid, he's going to make $600. The gentleman who's buying the two pizzerias, he's going to get paid 1099 income. The business broker told him to talk to me. He's going to save the money on his 1099 income. So the business broker is going to make $1,200 just for referring the trust. The business broker did nothing else but change the
Great,
name
isn't it?
of
It's a
the
knock-on
contract.
effect. It's a knock-on effect for everybody in the chain.
Exactly.
Right?
And
It works.
both the gentleman who's retiring and the gentleman who's buying it, he's 42 years old. He's looking for great pizza, great restaurants, and he's just like, I'm going to save so much money doing this. He got an extra $22,000 on the loan. He's going to be making payments for the next 2 years. Both of them are going to save money, and it's a beautiful world for everybody.
Absolutely, Sally.
I'm going to use your mushroom example all the time now.
It's true, right? And you can thank my mother for that one. My mother knows everything. She's like in her 80s. She's like, oh yeah. She said, I know, Beth. We're all treated like mushrooms. You know that, right? That's how they like to keep us, right? And it's the same for anything, for any information that you're not supposed to know, right? They just tell
Exactly.
you what they want you to know. but then no one
you know,
goes the extra
and
mile. So that's why it's really interesting to talk to you and
we were talking about Brexit.
Because most of the women that I know that are in service to others are coaches or healers, mentors, teachers. You know, nobody in tax. I don't know anybody in taxes.
That's my goal.
It's amazing to have this conversation with you.
Well, that's why I want to say thank you, Beth, for having me on the show. You know, unfortunately, I can only help Americans because that's all I'm licensed for.
Right.
But you might know someone. You might like, hey, talk to Sally. You know, exactly. I've sent you my affiliate link. But there's so much misinformation out there too, and I want to conquer that because you know, you need to trust somebody who you're working with, and that's what I'm trying to build again. Because
people need that. People need that safety. They need that security. They need that trust, especially when it's their money.
Yes,
because there are so many people out there that are just willingly take your money and not give you the service.
Unfortunately, very true.
And this is why it's really nice. Why I said it's really nice to talk to you because, you know, this is an area that I know nothing about. And as you said, if I, you know, some of my clients in America, most of them are in the UK. Some of them are in America, but if they needed, you know, advice,
exactly,
it's great for them. And my listeners are everywhere, right?
Exactly. So when you do the show notes, you know, you've got the affiliate link. Just set up your however you do it, and then if I know they come in from, you know, hey, I was listening to Beth's podcast. I just had literally this week. I just had somebody start a trust that listened to a podcast I did back in January of 2023.
Wow.
The person's podcast, when I get paid, they're going to get $600 for that. So exactly.
Nice. It is a lovely way to market, isn't it? Affiliate marketing. It's just a bonus for everybody.
Exactly. You know, it just because you don't know what your client needs or what they want, and you know, you might have something there for them. And you know, one of the something I do within the trust, the business trust, is Sally Silver. You know, the silver coins. I have clients all over the world. Some of them are affiliates. Some of them just want the silver coins, and I make money on it. I'm like, oh, this is, you know, you don't know where people are coming from. So that's exactly true.
Yeah. So one of my final questions normally is about finding, you know, as a coach or a mentor, about finding someone you can trust. But I think we've just talked about that, right? We've just talked about that. You're in a very select niche with the, you know, with the service that you offer. So it's basically, I think we've just answered that question about how important it is to find somebody that you can trust, you know,
exactly.
With life changes, with money, inheritance.
That's one of the reasons I joined different masterminds or different coaches. To, you know, I would never have met Don, the guy who inherited his dad's stock portfolio.
Yeah.
And Don's just like, send me information. If I didn't meet Don, I would never met his financial advisor, Jewel. She would never have sent me 10 more clients. She wouldn't have gotten 30 more clients. You know,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Networking is so important. I've realized the real importance of networking since becoming an entrepreneur and seriously stepping into my business a few years ago. You know, having people that understand you and your goals and your passion and what you want to do. You know, you'll find them in that network because there's always somebody that, oh, I know somebody that can help you with that. I know somebody that can help you with that. Right.
Exactly.
And I love that collaboration that is available in these communities these days.
Well, this is a true story. This was last September. I was down in Miami. Hurricane was coming in. I had to get to Phoenix. I was just about to leave. I'm in the ladies' room, you know, going to the bathroom, and a woman's pounding on my door. Is that Sally in there? I'm like, yes. And she's like, come out. You need to talk to my son. Her son is a crypto investor. You know, she put me on, you know, I'm on the cell phone with him, and I'm just like, this is my website. I'm literally leaving right now because all the roads are getting shut down. And he's just like, we'll talk next week. I mean, his mom's, you know, the affiliate, she sent me her son. He's got me in front of his crypto group. He's making affiliate money there. He's got his mom now working in crypto, you know, doing crypto, and she's just like, because I don't know if you know the gentleman Bill Walsh, Rainmakers. You know, I joined that, and I mean, in the middle of the ladies' room, we're having a conversation.
Amazing. Put banging on the door. Is that Sally in there?
Yeah, I'm just like, let
get out
me
here. We need your advice,
wash my
Sally.
hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the son's like, my mom's crazy. I'm like, your mom wants you to save money. That
Yeah,
your mom's looking out for you. And the
absolutely.
son's 27 years old. He thinks his mom's insane, but his son does a whole lot of crypto, and he's just like, my God, I didn't know I could save this amount of money because changing coins, doing different things. And then in his crypto group, he's got over 2,000 people there, and I presented twice and got more clients from that. So it's just you said symbiotic. It is symbiotic because we're all working together to do this.
Of course, it's symbiotic, right? And of course, he didn't know about it because we're not told. The average Joe is not told about this stuff. We're just told what we need to know, and that's it. Right? You really have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. So it's really nice to have a go-to person like yourself, Sally, that that we can say, okay, well, Sally's got the answers, right?
I should change my website. So the trust issue, I should change. I go ask Sally, or Sally has the answer.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You should.
So yeah, what I've just started doing is getting affiliate link at Amazon. This book, Scott and Asher book, it's an expensive book. So if a financial advisor downloads it, hey, I get 2 cents for it or something. So that's I didn't even think of doing that as an affiliate.
Yeah, you can do that with everything these days, can't you? In books as well. Yeah. Exactly. It's really nice that you're a go-to person. Or, I'm sure, like myself. Listen, if I've got a client that comes to me, wants something comes up in the program that we're doing together, and I'm like, oh, I think I need some extra help. I'll ask. If I don't know it, I'll find the answer. I'll find somebody.
Oh, that is beautiful,
right? And I think that's what you're doing too. I'm just doing it through coaching. You're doing it with investing and taxes. And I think it's brilliant, Sally. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I think if someone came to you and they had a question, you couldn't answer it, you'd know a man who can.
Yeah, yes. The law firm I work on behalf is private. They have 2 trust attorneys, but if I send them a question, they will respond to me within 48 hours. I'll be honest, one of the attorneys is 1 foot out the door to retire, but he loves answering people's questions. He's just like, I've hit it. It's the grandson of Paul Benson who got the patent on the trust, and he's just like, I'm passing this on to the 4th generation law firm, but he's just like, I love to answer people's questions.
That's a breath of fresh air, isn't it, really? Because most of the time when you hit a brick wall, don't you, when you're trying to get answers? Nobody will answer it. They keep deferring you, right? No one will answer that question. And it's really nice to be able to have somebody that you can go to and be honest with you and say, I don't have the answer for that, but I'll find it for you.
Why not? I mean, the more people I help, the more they'll help me. I mean, I believe in karma, good karma.
It's a no-brainer for me, Sally.
Yes.
Right. It's a no-brainer for me. Okay, so is there anything that you'd like to leave our listeners? Leave some information for them. Last words of wisdom.
Last words of wisdom. I'm going to leave my affiliate link, so you're going to put that in the notes so they can come to the website. On the website, I have an 18-minute free education about the trust, because 97% of the people in the United States have never heard of this. I do my podcast, Stop Paying Capital Gains Now, with an exclamation mark. Nice. I only have 25 episodes out, but it's growing. And I do a live Monday night presentation, 8 p.m. East Coast time, every Monday. It's thetrustisyou.com/Q&A, Queen November Alpha. I go over the slides. I open it up for questions. This past Monday, we had 9 people on, and everyone who's asking questions are asking other questions. And an amazing thing, because someone's question is everybody else's question too.
Yeah, that's the thing about communities, isn't it? I'm building a community as well. It's just amazing because, if you don't, people will answer each other. That's about the connection, right? They're happy to support because, as you said, karma. One day, if I need help, it's going to come back to me, and it's that symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. And I think we found each other on Facebook group Need a Guest. That's an amazing site.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Lovely. Very good. All right.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Sally, for giving us all your legal tax
I'm
wisdom.
not a CPA. I'm a representative of the law firm. I'm not the lawyer, but I have a solution for people.
Yes, exactly. That's great. Thanks again, Sally.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening today. If you would like to join me in telling your story about how you are quietly quitting your career and how you've got one foot out of the 9-to-5 rat race, or if you are a woman who has a story about already leaving the professional world to follow your passion and can offer inspiring advice, then please message me to get yourself booked in on an episode just for you. If you have a question for me or would like to know more information about how I can support you in one of my passion programs, please message me on Instagram, Facebook, or visit my website. You can also grab your free copy of my workbook, Your Passion Journey Starts Here, by joining my online community. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this podcast and share it with your friends. Until next time, this is Beth Taylor at the Passionate Pioneer Podcast, signing off.